watching this video. Alright guys, so I know that I announced kind of a little while ago that, I wasn't going to be making another video for a while, and I had every intention of that being the case, but good golly! There's a lot of news when it comes to the nerd world, and if you're watching this video already, you probably already know what it is. The newest Xbox console, known as the Xbox One. Stupid name! For those of you who are unfamiliar, basically today was the announcement day that Microsoft was going to reveal what their latest console is going to be, what it's going to do, what it's going to have or whatever, and to be completely honest, it flopped. It flopped tremendously. It might be one of the worst, I'm not even kidding, worst releases for a console that I have. I mean, granted, I haven't really seen that many or whatever, but I can't imagine that it could get much worse than this. Now, the thing is that this was a press update. This was something to let the press know and let them see what the new console was and what it was going to do and everything like that. And you want to know what it does? You want to know what it does? Or at least, well, at least what Microsoft showed off to everyone? It's a voice-activated TV. Yeah. Seriously, that's one of the biggest features that they brought up in the entire reveal. It's a voice-activated TV. And frankly, I already tried that once with a Kinect. It's not worth it. It's not worth that money. So once they got past that whole aspect of it, which, by the way, one of the things that they mentioned in there with the TV is that they have a 5-year exclusive deal with the NFL, saying that certain things in the NFL is going to be exclusive content to just the Xbox. Microsoft, you guys are based in Seattle. I live not too far away from Seattle, and let me tell you, if you do anything that keeps me from getting the Seahawks. So then they started to show off some of the games that are going to be in there, and frankly, not a whole lot of them look that impressive. They don't even have that many games to release so far. There's like a Forza 5, there's going to be Call of Duty Ghosts or whatever. No Halo release, though. Okay, this is something I don't understand. The press release went off. They showed us some of the graphics that it can do or whatever, which some of them looked okay, but there were no exclusives in there. Why wouldn't they have any exclusives? Do you ever think about that? What would be the point of releasing Nintendo saying, hey, I don't know where Mario's going? Or what's the point of Sony being released and saying, oh, I don't know what's going on with Metal Gear Solid or anything like that? It's just stupid. Why wouldn't you have your exclusives gunned up and ready to go? But then, 3 fatal, and I do say fatal because I believe that these 3 fatal flaws happened in the whole interview. First one. This new Xbox console is not, I repeat, not going to be backwards compatible for Xbox 360 or Xbox Live Arcade games that you've already purchased. Okay, that's strike 1 right there, because I don't understand why they wouldn't. Second thing, there was a huge amount of controversy going into this thing, saying that a lot of people were thinking that the Xbox was going to have to force people to always be online in order for the games to work or whatever, and one guy ended up getting fired because of it over at Microsoft or whatever because of his Twitter comments or whatever. Good news is, though, that's not the case. It doesn't always need to be on, but what it does is it does need to be online at least once every day to do an update so you can play the friggin' console! Okay, strike 2. That's strike 2. Strike freaking 3. If you buy a game on disc for this new Xbox console, get this, you are going to have an internet connection, which granted I live next to a big city, so it's not that big of a deal for me, but I know it's a big deal for some people out there. You are going to need to go online, put in a code that basically ties that game to the one console, and after you have the game in your possession, you then have to immediately and mandatorily, I don't know if that's a word, but you know what I mean, you're forced to then download it into the console itself, which, doesn't seem like that bad of a thing. Whatever, you can now play the game on on the deal without having to put the disc in there. Oh yeah, and the Kinect is back, and like I mentioned before, you are forced to put this freaking thing onto your console, and it will not work unless the Kinect is in on it. But then get this. Get freaking this. Now they have it so that if you've bought the game, you've put in the input code, and you have everything set up or whatever, but then decide, oh, this game's a piece of crap, I'm going to go get rid of it or whatever. And let's say you give it to your friend or whatever. It's like, hey man, I don't like this game. You can go ahead and give it a shot, whatever, man. Oh, cool, thanks. I'll go ahead and try it out. That friend that you just gave that game to, he now has to pay a freaking fee to play the game and download it onto his own console. In other words, people, what Xbox is doing by having the whole thing where if you buy a used game and then you get it over to your place and you still have to buy that fee, you want to know what they're doing? Pretty much they're eliminating the used game market. There is no reason to buy a used game anymore because you could either buy it, the game new, for 50 or 60 bucks or whatever, or you could wait till the price drops to around 30 and then you're hit with a $15 to $20 fee, so you might as well have done it anyway. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You see that, Microsoft? Did you see what just happened right there? That is what just happened to your game sales. All of them just went down the freaking tubes because you want to know why? Because no one is going to buy a freaking one of these consoles. Let me ask you something, Microsoft. Let me ask you something totally and completely honest now. If I have to download these discs into your freaking console, then why would I get you as opposed to just a PC engine with Steam? Last I checked, they actually treat their customers pretty darn well, you know? So let me get this straight. So for all the services and everything that you have, I'm going to assume that NFL thing and the TV deal, there's going to be a fee with that. I need to pay a fee for used games. I need to first buy the game itself, and then I need to buy Xbox Live. Whereas, let me think about it. At Steam, all I need to do is buy the console, or buy the, the computer, which is pretty much what your new console is, except I get to do this with the Kinect. So, as opposed to all those fees, I could then instead, I could just buy a PC and then buy the games, which frankly are going to have everything that you have except for Halo, which whoop-de-doo. Wow, Microsoft. All I can say is that you have shot yourself in the foot. No. You haven't shot yourself in the foot. You shot yourselves in the freaking head today. And especially now, when let me get this straight. Your company is not doing that good right now. It is not doing that good at all. And then this happens. You know what? And you want to know something funny? You want to know something funny about this, people? I'm not the only one who feels this way. In fact, I just read an article on here that after the release of this console, PlayStation stocks, Sony's stocks, have skyrocketed now. Microsoft. I don't know what's going on, but need I remind you, you are a gaming console, or rather you used to be. And now people are turning to the PlayStation in droves because of this. You are done. You are done. You have signed, sealed, delivered your own ticket down to the gaming grave, along with the Dreamcast and whatever else that failed in the video game industry. This is a good console. This is a good console. How could you forget this console? How could you forget everything that you did right with the Xbox 360? You're screwing everyone with this. Everyone who was ever a person who stood up for you and said, oh yeah, the Xbox 360, that's better than the PS3. Everybody who said that is hating themselves now. Way to go, Microsoft. You guys are down. You guys are down. You guys are out. And anything good I ever said about Microsoft, take that back in droves. I don't even know if that's a word. But you know what? You're down. You're down. You're out. You're down for the count. You guys are done because unless something changes, no one is going to buy that freaking console. Well, let me correct myself. Nobody who is a hardcore gamer, and that's actually the market that has been buying the Xbox, isn't it? You guys are done. You're done. Now, I shall now bury you in your own grave.